Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I wanted to go ahead and give my review on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. All right, so listen, let's get into it. Just let's go. All right, so the episode starts off with, girl. Let me fix my studio. Hold up, is it right? Okay, girl, that's the best we gonna get today. All right. So the episode starts off with Ace. He's going to see an acting coach. I thought it was so cute. When he was getting frustrated and he couldn't remember his line. Um, Shout out to Ken. You know what? Can I say something? I'm about to go ahead and say it. I love Ace's name, Ace Ross Tucker. But for the life of me, I really don't understand why y'all do this, especially someone like Candy. Candy, BITCH, I'm worldwide, right? I, I just don't understand why she did not hyphenate her children's name. I really don't. Because the truth of the matter is, and this is not no dig at Todd. You know, I know y'all real sensitive when it comes to Todd Burris, but this is not no shot at Todd. But the truth of the matter is, if we really gonna sit here and not lie, who you think got more power behind their name, Burris or Tucker? I would think the one who hollering and screaming that she worldwide. I don't understand why Candy does not have her last name attached to her children's. I just don't understand it. I really don't understand it. It would be different if it was Jay-Z and Beyonce. At that point, it don't matter who last name you got. Your daddy is Jay-Z and your mama is Beyonce. Knowles or Carter will do. But quiet as it's kept, even if it was Beyonce, then I still wouldn't erase my last name for my children. But I'm just saying, like in this situation where you know that one parent name is more powerful than the other, then why would you not use that name or at least attach your name to his name for to create your children's last name? Let's go on, girl. We starting off already in some mess. Marlo, the boys are back at home. Um, she talks to Crystal. Crystal says that I guess they're basically really still not doing their chores. I mean, I'm not trying to like. This is what it comes down to. Yes, I am. They're children. We were all children before. Do I expect the boys to have gone over to Crystal's house and then come back within 30 days and now have this new outlook on life and now be these responsible teenagers who now do their chores? No. One, because I don't think it's realistic. And then two, Crystal already has 4 kids of her own. So, how much discipline, how much do you think that she can really pour into her nephews when she already has 4 kids of her own? And I think Marlo did mention that Crystal does have a man. Didn't she say that? Like, I think Crystal does have a man. It's just a mess. Because now we know Crystal got a man. And so Crystal got a man. We're not even gonna get into that. But Crystal got a man and they still live in a 2-bedroom apartment with 4 kids. And now you have your 2 nephews over there. So that's 2 adults and 6 kids in a 2-bedroom apartment. And I think it might even be 1 bath. Because the kids basically said later on in the episode that it's good to be back home in a clean bathroom. Basically, I guess saying that the bathroom over there at Crystal House is nasty. But I mean, I'm not trying to like make excuses for Crystal, but I could see how a bathroom for one person. I mean, how if they do have 1 bathroom, even if it's 2 bathrooms, and Crystal and her husband or boyfriend has one in their bedroom, and then the other one is for the kids, I could still see that bathroom being a mess. Girl, that's 6 kids. in one bathroom. Anyways, girl, Marlo said that she cooked the boys some food. I looked at the plate. It looked like it was pizza, waffles, and chicken. Then I said maybe one of the little boys wanted pizza and the other boy wanted chicken and waffles. I looked down at one of the boys' plate. He got pizza, chicken, and waffles. I could have swore that's what I saw on the plate. I said okay. Um, Marla ain't no different than me when it comes to the kitchen, I guess, girl. Drew. Drew had surgery. Drew be lying. Did y'all see when Ralph was touching Drew's feet and she tried to act like she didn't know he was touching her feet, but when he touched her feet, she started wiggling her toes? Why is she lying? Why are you like trying to act like you don't feel your husband touching your feet, but are you wiggling your toes when he touched your feet? I said, okay, girl. Okay, Drew. Sanya and Sheree come over. You know what I noticed? And this is just a pet peeve of mine. I don't like for my food to be piled on a plate. And I felt like when they, this is so random. I felt like when they were bringing out their food just looked like it was piled onto the plate. Like I saw, I think a little bit of salad. I think I saw a little bit of mac and cheese, some meat. I feel like she cooked the same thing that night that she had cooked. I low-key feel like there was some leftovers that they used for Kenya's birthday party because that plate looked the exact same that night when Sheree and Sonya went over there that it did at Marlo's and Kenya's birthday party. We'll get into that in a little bit. But I hate when food is piled on a plate, and it looked like the food was piled onto a plate. I barely like my food touching each other. It has to match for my food to touch each other. Girl, I know. Anyway, that's just random. Sonya basically tells you that Kenya ate her up. Sonya disappointed me so bad last week. Girl, Quadas just kept. I low key went up for Rowan. What's Sheree's fashion coordinator called Rowan? To me, girl, she was hanging more with Kenya than the girls on the show. Quadas just kept. That's who I low-key was going up for. Miss Thing, girl, that was going back and forth with Kenya. Saying you disappointed me, girl. You pulled all that. What's up, Kenya? Girl, I'm thinking this about to be an old nasty, old school tongue tussle. And you even had to admit that Kenya wore your ass out. So Sheree, of course, being messy. This is the thing. I don't want it to be a team. I don't want it to be like a big versus small or the talls versus the small, whatever they used to have. But Sheree, I really think Kenya is giving Sheree a pass this season because it's been a couple of times Kenya really could have went there with Sheree and she has not. Like Sheree is like, I get the story has to move along and somebody has to move the story along. But I just wish Sheree was better at not looking so like Sheree's basically playing both sides. So she tells Sonya basically what Kenya said when they went on the bamboo ride. Kenya basically said that that Ross was aggressive. Sonya felt some type of way about it. She was upset. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that I don't understand why you should not call, black men, black women aggressive because we already know what's attached to that. Maybe we can just start saying, girl, you out of line. You out of order. Sometimes it is what it is. Sometimes you can be aggressive. And maybe we shouldn't shouldn't just use that word. Maybe we should use that word when it's just us. Maybe we should just use that word when it's just us around, right? And not in mixed company. But nonetheless, Kenya basically, I don't know if Kenya said that he was aggressive or if she was asking Sheree, did she think he was aggressive? At the end of the day, Kenya still thought that Ross was aggressive. Even if she did not necessarily say that Ross was aggressive, she still basically thought that Ralph was aggressive in the conversation. Sanya says that my boundaries keep my husband's name out of your mouth. Sanya calls Kenya. You could tell that Kenya was asleep. What's wrong? Maybe it was Kenya off day. I don't know, girl. What's wrong? Kenya, Sanya starts. Um, what it comes down to me is this. Sanya, Kenya wouldn't have anything to say about your husband if your husband wouldn't have said anything to her, especially cursed at her. I'm not going to go back and forth with y'all in the comment section about if Ross cussed her out or used a cuss word. The truth of the matter is, if a man had stood up and did the same thing Ross did to Kenya to you, and you had a man sitting beside you, what would your man do or say? So y'all can play this game about, oh, it wasn't that bad. Well, just ask your man. Because if somebody had stood up and said what Ross said to Kenya and said it to Sanya, Ross would have had something to say, which means at the end of the day, he was out of line. Okay? Some people gonna bring up Todd and how Todd and Marlo and Todd said, can y'all just leave my fucking name out of it? I'm sorry, I still don't think that's the same. What Todd said in defense of himself to Marlo, basically saying, keep my fucking name out of y'all, I'm out of the argument. I don't think it was delivered the same as Ross said it to Sanya and Sheree. I just don't think it was the same. I don't. Sheree sitting over there looking like a dummy, girl. Sheree, girl. I swear, y'all, Sheree really is disappointing me this season because it's not even about you taking up for Kenya. But girl, Sheree, clearly we have heard you talk about how you were a victim of domestic violence with your ex-husband. We have seen you defend Tammy's cousin, nephew, when he acted a plum fool when y'all were in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, wherever y'all were at. And now basically, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, girl, whatever. Next time, Sanya, tell your man don't say nothing to Kenya. If your man can say what he wants to say to Kenya, but Kenya can't feel a certain way. All right. Sheree Rawin, I can't pronounce her name in Kenya. Girl. So, Rawin, whatever her name is, we're going to call her Rawin. I don't know that lady. I can't pronounce her name. Rawin basically said this is not her first rodeo. Kenya said, I can't tell. Okay? It made absolutely no sense to me that Sheree, if you are really serious about this fashion show, why would you have a down low model casting? You have Kenya, who literally just sat here and said, girl, why didn't you tell me? I could have posted it. Kenya has a couple million followers. You could have asked Candy. I don't think Candy would have really made a big deal out of it. I honestly don't. Candy has like 10 million followers, I think, on Instagram. Why would you make this a down low model casting? Girl, I could see, girl, this is no tea, no shame. I could see if it was, girl, Nicki Minaj coming to town and they didn't want to have a whole bunch of chaos and confusion and they were looking for backup there. I don't know, girl. I don't know. But I just thought it was weird. It makes no sense to me either, Kenya. Kenya doesn't like the way that they are set up to look at the models. It doesn't make sense. I have never seen anyone, girl, set up a modeling casting call and girl, you sitting on the side. You ain't never seen, as long as America's Next Top Model was on TV, you ain't never seen Tyra and them sitting on the side to watch the models walk in. Rowan, you say this not your first rodeo, but girl, I can't tell. So Kenya basically tells her, she says, I've been doing this a long time. Girl, so you've been doing it wrong a long time, basically. Rowan, she throws shade, but girl, she actually disrespected her client, not Kenya. They have to be real models. And then she says, well, you have to have a budget for real models. When Kenya said, ooh. Because, girl, Quantas is killed. You ain't talking about me. You talking about your client that's paying you. Okay? So why you think you try to be slick by the mouth to me? Girl, you really disrespecting your client. Okay? The model, they can hire real models, right? Not just girls just walking around the street at Lennox Mall, no tea, no shade, for $200 to $500 a day. Kenya says that's actually pretty decent. Sheree says that she's already spent $1 million. I think I saw last night online that Sheree said that she didn't literally mean she spent $1 million, but she had invested a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and say this about Sheree, and y'all can take this how y'all want to take it. Sheree has been on my TV screen, and at least, girl, and I might be off on the percentage, but at least 90% of the time, Sheree has had on, girl, dripped down, baby, flossed, girl, twisting, and nothing but designer. Like, I know that Louis Vuitton sweater that Sheree had on at the end of the episode that Kenya said cost $7,000. I don't know if it really cost $7,000, but I bet you it cost at least $5,000. Okay? Maybe $7,000. Kenya was probably right with the $7,000. Like, Sheree has been wearing a lot of so it's like, all I'm trying to say is this money that you are, if you are so strapped for cash to the point where, girl, you can't go half on a birthday party, then maybe you should cut back on the shit that you wearing in order to make sure that your show goes off without a hitch. Sheree's a mess. Kenya thinks the info should be on the back of the photo. That will make sense to me too. That way you know that you wouldn't lose the information. Rowan again, to me, is wrong. I feel like this has to be, I feel like this is that girl's first, girl, she's probably did a couple of these, and because the price point was very, very low for Sheree, she just went ahead and chose her. Because to me, all the stuff that she's doing is completely ass backwards. I think that Kenya was really getting frustrated. If you really looked at, to me, Kenya was more invested in making sure the stuff went the right way than Sheree was. Sheree pretty much, like, I would have thought that this was Kenya's fashion show. Even at the end, when they were at the table, did y'all see how every time they were talking about Sheree's fashion show, Kenya was cutting her eyes? Like, ooh, like she's really getting on my nerves. Like, girl, you my sister, I love you to pieces, but girl, you not handling your business. That's what I was getting from Kenya. Girl. So Kenya asks for the information to be put on the back. Girl, Rowan says if it makes you feel better. She says it does. She says I'm happy for you. She said I'm happy for me too. She said confetti. Kenya said mm-hmm. When I tell you I was hollering when it came to that exchange between Kenya and the girl. When I tell you, baby, that was the funniest. I said, okay. I said, Miss Fashion Coordinator. Okay, Miss Fashion Coordinator is hanging. Okay. I like it. Bring her back next season, okay? Oh, girl. Drew, Ralph, and Drew's mama. When I tell you, baby, Drew looked just like her mama. Drew's daughter looked just like Drew and her mama. Like, girl, it is crazy how alike they look. All right, so, you know, Ralph is doing a photo shoot for his new book that Drew really don't know what the book is about, but she's gonna write the foreword for the book. How you write anything for the book when you don't even know what the book is about, girl? Okay, girl. She basically tells Ralph that she shared with her mom that you decided not to adopt Josiah. This is a thing where I told you I was confused, and a lot of you told me in the comment section that in order to adopt someone, you have to have the consent or basically they have to, the other parent has to agree to it. So I did a little bit of researching, and I saw online, not a lot, just a quick, just 1, 2, because I wanted to see how does it work in the state of Georgia, since they live in Georgia. And I still didn't really get the answer I was looking for. Some of what I read was, like, if you're married to the spouse, like with Ralph being married to Drew, I guess it shouldn't be that hard of a process. Also, I read that the father does have the right to consent or not consent on why he doesn't want the adoption to happen. Now, after that, if he says he doesn't consent, I don't know if at that point they have to go to a judge if they really want the adoption to happen, and the judge has to then look at what's best for the child, right? So I really don't know. But the way that Ralph delivers this, it's like, to me, he actually can adopt Josiah. He just doesn't want to because of Ricky. Ralph says that I wanted to talk to Josiah first to allow him to navigate his journey. Well, based off what I seen last year, and Josiah could have had a change of heart, but I almost feel like it's very unlikely. Based off of what I seen last year with Josiah, Josiah didn't want to have shit to do with that man. Josiah is walking around here calling you dad, because I heard him call you dad in this episode. Josiah has known you since he was, what, 2 or 3 years old. Josiah don't want nothing to do with that other man, so you already know how Josiah feels. He says that Ricky told him, listen, that's why I feel like all that, like, he got to have the consent from Ricky is bullshit. Because this is what Ralph is saying. I can't tell you not to adopt him, because you've been there for him. Ralph said that Ricky said, I can't tell you not to adopt him, because you've been there for him. Blah, 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 but I want to fight to be his father, be a father. So that lets me know again that I feel like Ralph could adopt Josiah. He just doesn't want to, because I feel like Ralph is really on some man-to-man type of shit. Like, man to man, I don't want to, just like, I don't want to, like, make him feel like less of a man. Like, it's not even about him. It really isn't. Up how he feels. It's about Josiah, right? I think Ralph is full of shit. And I think that if Ralph really wanted to adopt Josiah, he could. And I think that with Ricky's background, he would not have a problem. It's hard for me to believe that if they went to court and they let the court know, that this man had been in prison for 10 years, however long that man was in prison. How long was he in prison? 8, 7, 6 years? He went to prison. Did he go to prison when Josiah was born? So I can't remember the time frame. So you have a man over here who is this, then you have this man who's a felon. Girl, what the judge gonna say? I don't know. I feel like Ralph is full of shit. Just like Drew says. And that's how you know that Drew low-key ain't no dumb girl. She just goes by this because, girl, that's probably what she was taught. Well, she brings up basically marriage. Marriage ain't nothing but a certificate. I was with Drew. I know some of y'all gonna disagree. Marriage is more than that. Girl, whatever, child. But you still wanted to be married, right? I think Ralph is full of shit. And I think that Drew is a fool. And I think that he's really not taking into account how Josiah feels. And I think it's all about how Ricky feels. The felon. Girl, bye. Um, the party. So I wrote down what they had on the TV screen. So basically, Sheree and Drew threw a party for Kenya and Marlo. And I guess they were supposed to split the bill. The florals was $500, $700 for 200 balloons and delivery. The chairs were $200. The table was $160. The catering was $400. The decor was $200. Now I understand, girl. You want to. It ain't a bitch alive that's gonna get me to believe that, girl, them balloons, out of everything that you had, the balloons cost the most money. Girl, $700. And then the receipt comes from Ralph. Where are the actual receipts? Not the receipt from your husband. Where are the actual receipts? Because if you gonna sit here and tell me some balloons cost $700 out of everything, even out of the caters, the food, girl, the balloons cost the most. Girl, bye. The second thing I want to say is this, and maybe I just need to let this go. I'm tired of seeing the girls fuss and fight over a couple of dollars. Now, let me just say this. $2,400 to me, to you, your mama and your cousin too, might be a lot of money. Because for me, $2,400, girl, yeah, girl, where is my money? Girl, we said we were splitting it. But girl, the thing is, we're not on a show that's about these high, falutin lifestyles and the girls supposed to have money. You see what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is, if y'all gonna try to play the part, I need y'all to play the part. Why are we on TV arguing about a $2,400 bill when y'all supposed to be the it girls? Sure, why you ain't got your half of the money? But again, also, why are we going back and forth about this bill? Girl, just pay the bill. Just throw the American Express down and pay the bill, Drew. But also in the same breath, Sheree, girl, why are you on TV acting a fool over $1,200? When, girl, you got on a $7,000 sweater. I think that Drew wanted to embarrass Sheree, and I don't think that Drew really cares about the money, right? I think she just wanted to kind of like stick it to Sheree and show like, girl, here she go again, not paying her pussy bills. I just want the girls, if y'all gonna be on the show and y'all supposed to be the it girls of Atlanta and the rich girls, then girl, I'm gonna need y'all to act like it. Okay? Now again, for me, yeah, bitch, I want my $1,200. Cause I'm not online trying to act like I got it. I want my goddamn money. Matter of fact, before we even start ordering this shit, I want my goddamn money. Because I'm not putting no card information into the system until you run me my coin. Girl, if it ain't no money, the party ain't happening. Or I'm taking your name off the list, and girl, I'm gonna do what I can do with my $1,200. Because I think Sheree owed $1,200. Is that $1,200? Yeah, I think it was $1,200. Was it $1,200? Yeah, I think it was like $1,200. So I think it was $2,400 total, $1,200 a piece. Anyways, girl, so everybody arrives. Kenya's cousin is there. Girl, they really tried to make it like a little party. Because, I was like, okay, they're actually inviting people outside of the cast. Marlo's best friend, her goddaughter, another girl was there. Shay came. Shay looked like she did not want to be there. Girl, Shay looked like she did not want to be bothered by the girls, but Shay was there. Kenya and Marlo pretty much arrive at the same time. The producers probably set it up that way. Let me tell you, I hollered. Girl, you could tell. Kenya do be fucking with Marlo, but she fuck with Marlo on the sly. Girl. Bitch, when they pulled up at the same time, why it looked like Kenya was really trying to rush and get out of her car and get into the house so she wouldn't have to... Why I felt like Kenya was really trying to rush and get out of her car and get into the house so she wouldn't have to really like walk up with Marlo. And when she walked into that house and shut that door, she know Marlo was probably about 10 feet behind her. You know, sometimes the girls might like hold the door, like, girl, you coming? A girl like might leave a little crack in the door. You know what I'm saying, baby? Kenya stomp. Oh, God, what's it, Oscar Reeve? That's the stuff. You know what I'm saying, Oscar Reeve? Kenya do not fool with Marlo, child. I did think it was a little strange, even though it was a nice gesture that they threw Marlo and Kenya a party together. Girl, why are y'all throwing them a party together, knowing that knowing that they don't like each other, right? It did feel more like an intervention than a birthday party, but it is what it is, girl. They have a conversation, of course. Kenya Marlo says, "Why are we basically? How do we get to this spot?" Girl, that's why I said, Marlo. That's why people be saying you crazy, and I have to agree. A lot of times, like, girl, you be off. Marlo, why are you acting like, girl, you didn't come for Kenya this whole season? Kenya was trying to be cool with you. You are the one that was coming for Kenya, and now you want to sit there and act like you don't know why y'all ain't cool, Marlo. So Kenya, of course, starts to talk and explain. You know, she goes to the mama comment because Kenya was trying to say, bitch, let's start from the beginning and work our way up, right? Marlo doesn't want to go back that far. But even if we start at this season, Marlo, it's still your fault. Even with Candy. Even with Marlo saying that she want Candy to work and Candy gonna earn her check, I understand that and I agree to a certain extent because, girl, y'all want to say, girl, Candy, you know, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that Marlo, girl, a lot of times when you're with these women, it may not necessarily be every time, you are starting a lot of the shit. You know what I'm saying? And then you wonder why, girl, you are in the situation that you're in. You know? Not all the time, but probably 90% of the time, girl, when it's a back and forth with Marlo probably started it. Anyways, the only time that I can think of that Marlo really didn't started with Candy was at when they were in Jamaica, when they started going back and forth. Other than that, the rest of the times, like, Marlo, you really been on one. So Marlo says that basically you have cut me to the core. Kenya said, "Girl, bitch, when I tell you." Baby, when they played that footage of Kenya tearing Marlo ass off, girl, Kenya, you have said some shit to Marlo. Girl, when she told her she basically had what is it called? The credit card machine between her legs. Signed here, bloop. What I tell you, baby, Kenya used to wear Marlo out. Girl. Kenya have said some fucked up shit to Marlo. However, that was also in response to what Marlo has done to her. Like, Marlo started the shit, Kenya come back and drag Marlo, and then Marlo feelings get hurt. You gonna leave Kenya alone, girl? They play a game called Below the Belt. And it's basically, what would you say if you were in this situation? If someone says your man was aggressive towards them. Of course, Sanya basically says, you know, bitch, you wish you had a man like that. Sanya, can I say something? And this is for Drew too. But let me just say something about Sanya. Sanya. And y'all can take this how y'all want to take it, but I'm just going by what Sanya said on the show. Sanya, don't nobody give a damn about no Ross like that. You don't even want to have another baby by your husband. But you want to sit here and throw this nigga in somebody's face talking about you wish you had a man like that? I wish I had a man where I didn't want to have another baby by him. Tanya, don't nobody care about no goddamn Ross. Ross is out of line. End the conversation. Like Drew last night, and Sheree got into it online. And Drew tells Sheree, you just mad you ain't got no husband. Drew, have you seen your husband? Like, y'all throwing niggas in bitches' faces, and girl, I'm like, girl, Sonya, you don't even want to have no more kids by your husband. Drew, Ralph been dragging your ass since your first season last season. So how are either one of y'all throwing these niggas in anybody's face? Girl, y'all got some nerve. They talk about a friend not paying a bill. Drew had to have known that either they had to hurry up and put that question in there, because how, if this game was already prepared, how did y'all just throw that in there, right? Or maybe she was using it as an example from the past, I guess. Sheree and Apollo. Apollo pulls up in a Rolls Royce. Apollo fine as hell. He like to steal. He fine. I don't know how. Yeah, I do. How the fuck you get locked up for stealing, and while you in prison, you still manage to get a divorce and get a girlfriend? Girl. Apollo went to jail for stealing, got a divorce from Phaedra, and ended up getting a girlfriend while he was all in prison. How the hell? He done pulled up in a Rolls Royce. Apollo, where you get this money from to the point where you get... He pulls up in a Rolls Royce or a Bentley. One of the two. It wasn't no Toyota Corolla. It wasn't no Nissan Altima, I know. Girl, it wasn't even no C-Class. He basically says Phaedra was cold-blooded, left him out to dry. Basically, she wasn't there for him. You know, Phaedra got on my goddamn nerve. But one thing about it, two things for sure. Girl, I will give Phaedra this much. Phaedra said, baby, I ain't never been no ride or die. I ain't gonna start now. Baby, as soon as Paula went to jail, baby, Phaedra had the divorce papers, honey, printing out the machine. Okay? Now that I will give her props. Because, girl, these niggas ain't gonna wait for y'all. Stop thinking y'all niggas like Papoose. Papoose is one in a trillion. Okay? I was kind of confused by Apollo because it felt like Apollo was talking in circles. Because at one point, he's basically is like giving hell to to Phaedra for not being there for him. I guess because him and Phaedra were married, I guess he expected differently from Phaedra. But then he basically tells Sheree, don't trust these niggas in jail. Because they're going to say whatever they need to say in order for the time to pass. When they get out, they're going to be a different dude. Well, girl, Phaedra could low-key say the same thing about you, but I guess he probably looks at it as though, girl, you are my wife, though. Girl, what that mean? Girl, the ring don't mean a thing. That was pretty much it. She asked Apollo to be in her fashion show. He agrees. You know what I did say, though? Girl, I'm not going to lie, girl. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest. As much as I can't stand them, if I could have my season 14, season 15 cast, I would bring back all the girls. This would be an explosive season. Bring back all the girls. Bring back Portia and Phaedra. Bring back Apollo and his girlfriend. Bring back Cynthia and Mike Hill. I know there's a lot of people. And bring back Peter. Bitch! Baby. I would bring back everybody. Portia, Phaedra, Mike Hill, Cynthia, girl, Apollo, and his new girlfriend. Bitch. Talking about a season to remember. Bitch. Tell me that season wouldn't be good. All right, y'all. I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.